This is the reason you're throwing away hundreds of dollars every year on oil changes you don't need, and the people changing your oil will never tell you to stop. The 3,000-mile oil change ranks among the most profitable myths in the automotive industry, generating billions in unnecessary consumer spending, while manufacturers recommend intervals 2 to 3 times longer. Quick lube shops pull 35% profit margins on every oil change and target 80% gross profit on labor, and that's not speculation or conspiracy theory, that's straight from their own industry handbook. Today we're exposing everything, from how much shops actually mark up that oil to what your owner's manual really says. The truth about premium brands like Mobil 1 and Castrol Edge, whether Amsoil's 25,000-mile claims hold up, and the federal law that protects you from warranty denial, a law most dealers hope you never learn exists. To understand why you're being told to change your oil so often, you need to follow the money. National Oil and Lube News, the industry's own trade publication, lays it out clearly. Successful quick lube facilities target 75 to 80% gross profit on labor and 50 to 60% on parts, with approximately 70% total shop gross profit as the goal. The math tells the real story. Bulk synthetic blend oil costs shops about $5 per gallon, full synthetic runs $10 to $15, and oil filters cost roughly $1.50 in bulk. Add it up and the materials for your oil change land somewhere between $15 and $20, yet a typical synthetic oil change retails for $70 to $110. That same industry handbook recommends that 33% of all services should include an additive sale, those pop and pour bottles they wave in front of you, and 50% should include additional filters or fluid exchanges. That's a sales quota dressed up as service advice. A former Ford service advisor put it plainly to Edmunds. The 3,000-mile oil change is a marketing tactic that dealers use to get you into the service bay on a regular basis. And unless you go to the drag strip on weekends, you don't need it. Investigation after investigation has documented this pattern. A 2013 CBC Marketplace undercover operation found shops recommending $180 to $250 in additional services on top of advertised $20 oil changes, inflating bills by more than 10 times the advertised price. One shop recommended replacing fluid that had just been changed, claiming it smelled like it was burning. Consumer Reports data paints a similar picture. 18% of Quick Lube customers reported centers tried to sell services they didn't want, and 8% reported the shop never changed the oil filter despite charging for it. Jiffy Lube faced a $5 million class action lawsuit in California in 2012 over false and misleading advertising tied to the 3,000-mile recommendation. Pile on a $47 million settlement for unsolicited text spam, and the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. This has nothing to do with protecting your engine and everything to do with protecting their revenue. What did the people who actually engineered your car recommend? Toyota specifies 7,500 to 10,000 miles for vehicles running 0W20 synthetic. Honda's maintenance minder system typically triggers between 6,000 and 10,000 miles, while BMW recommends 10,000 to 15,000 miles. GM vehicles with oil life monitors usually fall between 5,000 and 7,500 miles, and Ford specifies 7,500 with a maximum of 10,000. And what does the windshield sticker say when you leave the shop? 3,000 miles, maybe 5,000 if they're feeling generous. Those oil life monitors in modern vehicles turn out to be surprisingly accurate. GM system tracks engine revolutions, operating temperature, coolant temperature, ambient temperature, idle time, cold starts, and fuel consumption all at once. One GM engineer posted on Bob is the Oil Guy forums that he knows personally from years of testing and thousands of oil analyses that the algorithm works, and there's simply no argument to the contrary. Here's what that means in practice. At 3,000 miles, most modern vehicles show 60 to 70% oil life remaining. You're throwing away oil that could safely run another 4,000 to 5,000 miles. Shops love exploiting the severe service designation, which covers short trips, stop-and-go traffic, dusty conditions, and towing. Studies show 62 to 80% of drivers exhibit some of these behaviors, but even that schedule typically calls for 5,000 to 7,500 miles with synthetic, not 3,000. The annual cost of this gap hits $325 per driver in unnecessary oil changes, totaling over $5.4 billion nationally. That's money transferred directly from your wallet to their register for work your car didn't need. Now let's look at the oil brands themselves, starting with the one everyone considers the gold standard. Mobil 1 launched in 1974 as the first globally available fully synthetic motor oil, with an original formula running 85% PAO, which is polyalpha olefin, the premium synthetic base stock. The motorsports credentials are legitimate. legitimate. Partnerships with Porsche since 1996, Mercedes-AMG since 1992, and Corvette since 1992. Over 70 high-performance vehicles leave factories with Mobil 1 as original fill. But here's where it gets complicated. Back in 1998, Mobil sued Castrol, claiming Castrol Syntec wasn't truly synthetic because it used Group 3 hydrocrack-based stock instead of PAO. Mobil lost that case when the National Advertising Division ruled in 1999 that Group 3 oils could legally carry the synthetic label. The twist nobody expected, reports indicate Mobil later downgraded some Mobil 1 formulations to those same Group 3-based stocks. Lubes and Greases magazine noted shortcomings in the ability to pass tests that the original Mobil 1 formula handled without issue, and most current Mobil 1 variants reportedly use primarily Group 3 with some PAO content, not the 100% PAO of the original formula. Does the performance justify the price? Blackstone Labs data shows Mobil 1 producing normal wear patterns, but nothing exceptional compared to competition. A Ford Explorer test at 236,000 miles found Mobil 1 extended performance, and Castrol Edge performed virtually identically. Current pricing puts Mobil 1 at $5.59 to $6 per quart at Walmart, while SuperTech Full Synthetic runs $3.60 to $4. The consensus on Bob is the Oil Guy forums. Thousands of Blackstone Lab reports and mountains of evidence suggest store brands work just as well as something that costs $15 more. Castrol Edge and that famous titanium fluid strength technology deserve the same scrutiny. The marketing claims the oil physically transforms its structure under pressure and delivers 3 times stronger protection against viscosity breakdown. Sounds impressive on paper. The experts tell a different story. Bob is the Oil Guy contributors call titanium a marketing buzzword with no real-world mechanical protection benefits, and Blackstone Labs reportedly considers titanium a potential contaminant rather than a performance additive. Virgin oil analysis found that cheaper Castrol Magnatec contains 30 parts per million titanium compared to only 10 parts per million in premium Castrol Edge. If more titanium actually meant better protection, you'd expect the premium product to have more of it. There's also a geographic wrinkle most people never hear about. German-made Castrol Edge contains more PAO and ester content because German regulations don't allow Group 3 oils to carry the synthetic label. American-made Edge runs primarily Group 3, meaning same bottle, same name, potentially different formulations depending on where it's shipped from. Blackstone Labs testing shows Castrol Edge performing equivalently to Mobil 1 with neither demonstrating clear superiority. That titanium marketing looks like differentiation for its own sake. Amsoil and those aggressive extended drain interval claims need examination too. Amsoil's Signature Series advertises 25,000 miles, 700 hours, or 1 year under normal service conditions, but the fine print tells a different story. Those claims apply only to unmodified vehicles with mechanically sound engines, and severe service drops the interval to 15,000 miles. What counts as severe service? Short trips, stop-and-go traffic, and cold starts, which describes how most people actually drive. The forum consensus on Bob is the Oil Guy puts it bluntly. 25,000 is doable only under the most ideal circumstances. One detail stands out. Amsoil Signature Series carries no API certification. Amsoil explains that testing runs $125,000 to $300,000 per formulation. But this matters because most vehicle warranties specify API-certified oil. Using non-certified products could become ammunition for a warranty denial. The business model raises questions too. Amsoil has operated a hybrid MLM structure since 1973, and the pricing impact shows clearly. Non-dealer retail hits approximately $27 per quart on Walmart Marketplace versus roughly $11 per quart for preferred customers with membership. Industry statistics put 90 to 99% of MLM distributors at only a few $100s in annual earnings, which creates obvious bias in online Amsoil recommendations from people with financial stakes in your purchase. Does the oil perform? One Blackstone analysis ran 2 years and 13,000 miles with additive levels still acceptable. So yes, but the value calculation only works if you actually achieve those extended intervals. Changing Amsoil at normal intervals means paying 3 to 4 times more for no measurable benefit. Store brand oils like Walmart SuperTech might be the most important thing we cover today. Warren Distribution manufactures SuperTech at facilities across the country, and the same company produces oils for Amazon, Costco's Kirkland brand, Pep Boys, and AutoZone. API certification works as the great equalizer here. Every API-certified oil passes identical standardized test, with no API SP Premium tier versus API SP Basic tier. That testing costs $125,000 to $300,000 per formulation. SuperTech Full Synthetic carries APISP certification, ILSAC GF6A certification, and GM Dexos 1 Gen 2 approval, meeting the exact same standards as oils priced nearly twice as high. Independent testing backs this up. Blackstone Labs analyzed SuperTech in a Nissan Xterra with 217,000 miles on the odometer, and the verdict came back, looked great, with a suggestion to extend to 9,500 miles next time. Engine Labs put SuperTech Synthetic through a 450 horsepower small block Chevy and recorded lower wear metals, 8 parts per million compared to 11 for Chevron Havoline conventional. The Bob is the Oil Guy analysis found no measurable differences in wear metals compared to any other full synthetic oil, and Blackstone Labs staff reportedly run conventional oil in their own vehicles. The price gap tells the rest of the story. SuperTech Full Synthetic runs $18 to $20 for a 5-quart jug, while Mobile One costs $27 to $30. That's 33% savings on oil that tests identically. The warranty myth needs addressing because fear of voiding coverage keeps people paying more than they should. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act of 1975 explicitly prohibits tie-in sales, stating that manufacturers cannot condition warranty coverage on using any article or service identified by brand, trade, or corporate name. What that means in plain language, manufacturers cannot require specific oil brands, dealership-only service, or OEM parts exclusively. Any warranty denial requires proof that the aftermarket part directly caused the failure, and the burden of proof falls on the manufacturer, not you. FTC enforcement has ramped up recently. October 2022 brought final orders against Harley-Davidson, Weber, and Westinghouse requiring explicit language that third-party service won't void coverage, with violations carrying penalties of $46,517 per incident. Warranty void if removed stickers got declared illegal back in 2018. FTC Director Samuel Levine stated directly that these warning letters put companies on notice that restricting consumers' right to repair violates the law. This protection works when you use it. One Audi owner faced an initial denial on a $9,200 engine replacement after doing DIY oil changes without keeping receipts. After citing Magnuson-Moss, the warranty company reversed course and approved the full replacement. Keep your records, save receipts showing oil brand and viscosity and date and mileage. If warranty gets wrongly denied, demand the denial in writing, cite Magnuson-Moss directly, and file complaints at reportfraud.ftc.gov. The pattern becomes clear when you step back and look at it all together. The 3,000-mile oil change exists because it generates profit, not because your engine needs it. Quick lube shops have every financial incentive to bring you back as often as possible, while the engineers who designed your car recommend intervals 2 to 3 times longer. Premium brands like Mobile One and Castrol Edge produce quality products, but Blackstone Labs data shows they don't outperform store brands like SuperTech that cost 30 to 40% less. Every API-certified oil passes the same tests. Amsoil's extended drain claims can work under ideal conditions, but most daily drivers won't experience those conditions. Federal law protects your warranty through the Magnuson-Moss Act, which prevents manufacturers from requiring specific brands or dealership service. Use any API-certified oil meeting your vehicle's specifications, follow your owner's manual instead of the windshield sticker, and that $325 a year you save stays in your pocket instead of going to the shop. That's what mechanics won't tell you. Now you know.